Hi, guest number one. We have a question for you. What is a weeb?
A weeb is essentially someone who is very addicted to the Japanese culture, most especially anime, because they find it more interesting and very relatable towards their life.
So they focus more on Japanese culture, not like Korean, like that. Yeah.
Yeah. A weeaboo is essentially
Okay.
a personal life.
So when was weeb like started going like
Rampant?
Yes.
I think weeaboo started going rampant around maybe the early 2010s, especially when Hatsune Miku was very very famous. They were interested in those types of girls instead of girls in real life. So yeah, I think that's maybe around that time weeaboos were already very rampant.
What are their daily doings?
Well, for me, when I was still a hardcore weeb, I was just stuck at home watching anime for most of the day, eating food, essentially trying to dive into any type of Japanese culture as I wanted, most especially in the anime scene.
What is your goal as a weeb?
My goal as a weeb, personally, is trying to connect more with humans. As I've become a weeb, it's very hard for me to communicate because I have next to zero communicating skills. Up until now.
Sorry if this is kind of offensive, but are you somewhat an introvert?
Yeah.
I see. So they engage more on watching animes rather than like socializing with new people.
Because for them, socializing is not their what they call it, forte. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So, another weeb guest here. What are your thoughts about being a weeb?
My thoughts on being a weeb personally is very, I don't know, it's up to you if that's the word, because people can choose whether or not to be a weeb or to be a weeb. To get into the weeaboo type of fan base is it takes too much commitment.
Well, how about what does it when being a weeb, does it feel like joining a community or somewhat?
No, being a weeaboo is sort of more like an addiction towards Japanese culture and
Of an individual.
yeah.
Oh, I see. So we have another question. Okay.
So those were pretty interesting perceptions. But here's one irrelevant question. Do you prefer animated girls over real life girls?
At one point in my life, yes, I did consider anime girls to be a counterpart, or rather a replacement for real human girls. But since now that I've actually maybe a little more gone out of the weeaboo culture, I have actually started to live my life. I'm starting to get into more girls. I'm trying to get more socialized and involved with people.
Why did you feel like that?
I felt like that because I felt like my life was at a standstill. I was making no improvements as a human person, and I just wanted to be out there and live.
Okay, that was an interesting answer for our weeb guest. And thank you and goodbye. So, do weebs watch hentai?
Hentai is actually a word in Japanese, and it translates to pervert. But to the common world, to those who are not really involved in the Japanese culture as I do myself, I have been actually. Hentai is essentially to you guys pornographic videos, but instead of being real women, they are animated characters that have voice actors to act different types of scenes for them.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes. So, So, what were your ways on quitting being weeb or weeb
choice of between from being a weeaboo to a non-weeaboo was actually I limited myself from watching anime most of the day. Although I still like Japanese culture, but not to a crazy extent that I reject my own culture. Like me being a Filipino, I should embrace it and not I don't know, rebel against my own culture.